Have you ever been completely confused about how to manage your career? You're not alone. Career management is a confusing topic because everyone has unique career experiences, history, and goals. This season, we are helping you create a solid career management plan that we are calling Be Your Own Board: Strategies for Career Management. We will be treating your career like a business and applying the top executive board positions to your career management. You will step into each board position and evaluate your career based on the roles each position is responsible for. I'm looking forward to helping you manage and advance in your career. Did you know that you have a brand? Yes, you, your career, your life, all impact your personal and professional brand image. This week, we are exploring the CMO or Chief Marketing Officer position on the board, and it's all about brand and image management. In an organization, the CMO is responsible for the external image of the organization and its messaging. We see companies develop a distinct brand based on many factors. This translates the same way to your career and professional brand, as well as your personal brand. Before we dive into the specifics and semantics about your professional brand, I want to discuss your intention. There are two types of people in the world when it comes to personal and professional brand management. The first beats to their own drum. They have their own style, their own way of being, never apologize, and find organizations that honor who they are. The second conforms to an already established brand based on norms they have observed in others. They do this to fit in and hopefully get where they want to be in their career by mimicking those in power. Neither approach is good or bad, but it's important to know where you fall because the strategy is different for each. Some of you might be thinking that the second type of professional is somehow worse than the first. They are conforming, and who wants that? Well, it depends on your industry and your functional area. When I was in higher education, I worked in a career office, which isn't like other offices on a college campus. Our office needed to be more professional, and our attire had to reflect that image. While other offices could wear jeans and sneakers to work, we had to be dressed in business casual, at the very least. Maybe you work in finance, and you know the expectation is to wear a suit every day. It doesn't mean you can't have your own style, but you are still conforming to the professional expectations. If you work at a tech startup, the dress might be more casual to reflect the culture of the organization. Either way, you need to determine what your career path requires and how that fits with your personality and image. Let's keep digging into the CMO position and how it can help you. First, the CMO dictates the overall image of the organization. Of course, this isn't solely this person's responsibility, but they have a heavy hand in helping narrow it down and articulate it. You might have a distinct image already, or you might need to narrow it down more, and both require external input to ensure you are on the right track professionally and personally. The CMO also creates and manages marketing goals and strategy. This one might be difficult to connect to career initially, but let's unpack it. Thinking of yourself and your career as a business or product, what do you need to do to market your skills and abilities? Within your current organization, it might look like making sure your boss is aware of your accomplishments. It might mean scheduling time with key people in your company for them to learn more about you and get your name out there. Externally, it might look like writing articles or posts on LinkedIn or in a trade publication. It might mean evaluating your social media and making sure your content is consistent with who you are and where you are headed in your career. Your marketing goals are all about making you visible to the right people so your opportunity for advancement increases. Now let's discuss brand identity. For a company, brand identity helps their client or customer relate to their product or service. Organizations can have a brand identity that is visual through their logo, ads, website, and media, but they can also have a brand identity that is told through their employees. This highly ties your culture to your brand identity. For those of you in the consulting world, you know the largest consulting agencies all have an unspoken reputation based on how their consultants operate. Everyone knows it, but we rarely discuss it openly or in a public forum because it's not part of the defined brand image from the organization. Your brand identity is just as much about your behavior and work ethic as it is about how you dress or carry yourself. When my dad was alive, he had an epic collection of Vans shoes. After he passed, I think we counted about 24 pairs of Vans total. He had them in every color and pattern that matched his wardrobe. My dad wearing Vans was a key part of his brand identity. So much so that for our wedding, we bought my dad and all the groomsmen custom Vans in the colors of the wedding. At his funeral, I wore a pair of Vans, as most did, in his honor. His personal brand identity had an impact. One thing to consider with brand identity is that it can go horribly wrong very quickly. For example, are you the person who brings sticky food into the office? Are you the person who wears too much cologne or perfume? Do you gossip too much? Are you always late? All these behaviors and actions can impact your brand identity in a negative way, and it only takes 1 or 2 instances for it to stick long term. Which brings us to the next role the CMO plays, which is to consistently evaluate the brand image and update as needed. When you can evaluate your image, know where you went wrong, and fix it, your future self will thank you. One of the worst situations you can end up in is being denied a promotion or path to advancement because of an image problem you could have managed. This is all about looking inside and being honest with the image and role you play in your company right now. If you aren't where you want to be, or you know your behavior isn't who you want to be, fix it. Apologize. Change the pattern. Take action to become who you want to be. Finally, the CMO creates marketing campaigns to promote growth. This is all about external communication and image management. Who do you need to connect with to help you advance in your career? Who needs to know you? Does your reputation help you or hinder you? If you want to be a thought leader, what needs to be in place to help promote that growth? What publications can you write for? Are there podcasts you can be on? Expert panels you can join? Professional associations you can be active in? The marketing campaign is all about setting goals for you externally to grow your professional brand separate from the position you are currently in. At the end of the day, image matters. People are hired and promoted based on personal and professional image. Is it right or ethical? Maybe, maybe not, but it's reality. Make sure your reputation is positive and those around you are supporting you and not trying to tear you down. Now that we have defined the role of the CMO and how you are the CMO of your career, it's time to act. What roles were difficult for you to think through? Where can you recruit some help for those areas? If you are interested in having a list of the marketing roles, I recommend picking up the complimentary PDF that accompanies this season. It's a visual representation of what I'm discussing and will allow you to keep notes. If you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation, please connect with Ride the Tide Collective on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook.